Howdy folks, so today we're going to look at the blues sandwich. What on earth is the blues sandwich? Well, the blues sandwich is a concept which explains how to create cool solos by considering the different notes as different flavors of the sandwich. All right, so we're going to use the good old minor pentatonic and expand out of that to create additional flavors within our sandwich. The first thing you need to create a sandwich is 2 slices of bread. So there's our 2 slices of bread. Now the 2 slices of bread are there to represent the root notes. And we're going to start a phrase off with a piece of bread, put stuff in the middle, and then finish it with a piece of bread. So we get root note, bunch of notes, root note, something like this. Root note, root note. Now the other notes in there are coming from that minor pentatonic scale, which in this case we're thinking of playing over just an A7 chord. So we're doing a major blues here, but playing the minor pentatonic scale over the top of it. Now these other notes want to be largely complementary to the root notes. They don't want to clash too much. So we want some filling in our sandwich. That's going to be the main bulk of our sandwich. So what about a nice bit of cheese? So the cheese is largely going to be represented by the other notes, right? But this note, the minor third, has got a bit of tension over the top of that A7 chord. So we're not going to treat that as cheese. We're going to treat it as a tasty olive. So the olive has just got a little bit of zing to it, but not too much. So we're going bread, olive, cheese, cheese, olive, back to bread again. Yeah, so we can create lots of phrases around that. Start and finish with bread. Now we can start with this bread, finish with that bread. So I went bread, olive, cheese, 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 olive, bread, olive, bread, olive, bread, cheese, cheese, olive, bread. Yeah, so what I'm doing is I'm creating lines largely based around the meat of it, the bread, then the cheese, and then chucking an olive in for a little bit of flavour. Now if I want a lot of flavour, I want something a bit more spicy, so how about some chili jam? Right, so we're going to put some chili jam into our sandwich now. So the chili jam is going to be represented by this note. You might have guessed it. Flat 5. So the flat 5 is added to the pentatonic scale, the minor pentatonic scale, to create what's called the blues scale. So we're just going to chuck that one in. But the point is, you don't want a lot of chili jam. Right? You definitely want more cheese and chili jam, unless you're insane. So you want to hint at that flat 5, put a little hint of chili jam in, then go back to your cheese and olives, and then your bread. Bread again, yeah? So a bit of chili jam tastes good, but you don't want lots of it. Let's put one other flavour into our sandwich, which is going to be an onion. So onions are pretty sharp. So our onion's going to be this note. This note. So that's a note Stevie Ray Vaughan used a lot. It's a flat 9. And it lives a semitone above the root note. Again, we don't want to hit it very often because it's a bit too ouchy. But there, it's really like mega cool. So I'll just slow that lick down for you. So that's like one of the most common Stevie Ray Vaughan licks. So sticking in that flat 9 is really cool. Most of the notes are the bready notes and the cheesy notes, and then the odd olive, rarer a chili, and even rarer still, onion. Bread. And if you think of it like that, you'll create some really cool lines. Most of the lines being bread, then lots of cheese, fair bit of olive, and then bits of chili and onion, right? There's other notes you can put in, but I'm just giving you those flavours to put into your sandwich. So have a play around with that, your blues sandwich. But the whole point of this is getting you to think about the intervals you're playing as not being equal. They're not the same. Some people just think the minor pentatonic scale, they can play any notes they want in any order and it'll sound good, and it won't, right? You have to think about how the intervals react to the chord behind it. This is crucial. And thinking about root notes and then chord tones and then tension tones, avoid notes, all this sort of stuff really helps your playing. But it's much simpler to think of it as root notes being the bread of your sandwich, then have cheese notes, then olive notes, which is a little bit, a hint of spice, but not too much, and then really spicy notes. That's basically how it works. That's what's happening in the music. And if you can get your head around that, you'll create some really cool lines. Don't forget to check me out on Patreon. Over on the Patreon channel, I'm expanding on this concept a little bit further by mixing together minor pentatonic and the Mixolydian mode. So I'm combining those to create hybrid scales, so you can check me out on there. There's loads of good stuff on Patreon. Please make sure you subscribe to this if you haven't already. I'm sure lots of people watching haven't subscribed. It really helps the channel. It's only a click of a button, but it massively helps me, so I'd be really grateful if you could subscribe. Give it a like, hit the bell notification, all really helps. Much appreciated. Catch you next time.